Today's sales video podcast from salesvideopodcast.com is really devoted to you entrepreneurs out there or your big deal closers. As you know, Trevor Green and I wrote the book on closing big deals called Closing Bigger. When we wrote the book, we went out and interviewed people who closed deals over $1 million and said, what do they do different than average salespeople? And what we found is there was no silver bullet, but that they were extremely disciplined at the basics of being organized, developing relationships, following through, keeping commitments, understanding their industry, all the things you hear from other salespeople, but they're obsessed and disciplined with those principles. Now, with that said, one of the things that became quite obvious is that these big deal closers really were in business. They just weren't in a deal. And I want to talk a little bit about the difference between a deal and being in business. Too often, I think we can start off our career or start a business, and our greatest blessing is also our greatest curse, and that is it's too easy. We land that big client, that one that doesn't bring us 80% of our revenues, but maybe 90. One client. And we really work that relationship, or maybe it's one business model, one product. And this is what our whole business is based upon. But there's a danger. In most cases, those aren't businesses. They're just deals. We build expenses, overheads, projections, all around really one deal, or a couple deals. This, in my opinion, is really what I would call exposing ourselves to a lot of risk. So here's my suggestion. Here's some things to think about. Are we first in market but not unique? So if you're in a business right now where you're raking in the cash, you're doing really well, but you're first to market yet easily duplicatable, it's in my opinion you're in trouble. Find a way to fortify your business through developing strong relationships and differentiating yourself. If you're in a business where you're a one-client show, where they give you the majority of their revenues, this again exposes us to business risk. I don't know how many entrepreneurs I've seen where their largest client eventually fires them, and weeks later they're out of business. But and I'm not saying, and I'm not criticizing any of us who've lucked out. In fact, I've had a couple lucky deals in the last little while myself. They've been really profitable. But I don't base my business model upon that luck. Instead, what we do is we get that great deal, we bank the extra money, we don't increase lifestyle or expenses, and we focus again on the fundamentals of our business to really guarantee our long-term success. I think too often as entrepreneurs, when things are going really well and increasing, we just project this linear projection, a total increase, a hockey stick growth. But the reality is life looks more like this. Now when things curve, often we project this. That doesn't happen either. It's a bit up and down. So to a large degree, in our business planning and our prospecting, we can't be just focused on that one big deal we've landed or that one business model. We've got to look at continually doing the fundamentals to make sure that our funnel is full, that we're constantly exploring new markets and niches, and that we're absolutely grateful for the business we've landed, but we're not dependent upon any one client. Ideally, if you're in business for yourself, that was the whole goal. You no longer have a boss. Yet I'm going to tell you that if you have one major client, one major investor in your business, you're too exposed. To a large degree, the only person that should be able to affect our destiny is ourselves. And the best way we can make sure that happens is by continually focusing on the fundamentals, doing what it takes to fill our funnel, and really making sure that we've got a healthy base of diverse customers. This is Shane Gibson's Sales Video Podcast from salesvideopodcast.com.